Well, welcome everybody back to the Flying Doghouse. We're going to take a first look today at the Cessna 172 Reims Rocket. It's available over on Flightsim.to. It's a great little bird. It's got a lot of interesting features built in. And it's freeware, so I'll put a link in the description below so that you can download it for yourself. Let's get going. All right, we are sitting on the ground at Coastal Carolina. KEWN, Kilo Echo Whiskey November. It's on the east coast of North Carolina, sitting next to the Trent and the Neuse River. It's a lovely little place. Actually, it was the first place in North Carolina to host the governor's house. So, anyway, a little bit of trivia there, a little history. Birthplace of Pepsi Cola. So there you go. There's a little bit of local history. Let's jump in the cockpit. This thing is impressive. We'll have a look at some of the features built in. So there is a handbook where you can turn on and off fun things and save some settings. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the tie downs and the chocks that were outside. You can turn on and off the fairings. This particular aircraft has roof windows if you want to have those available to you. Several different pages here to explore. There's also a built-in checklist, which I found to be quite interesting. We'll take a look at that in just a second. But anyway, I'm going to leave it to you good folks to explore this on your own. This is version 6.1.1 of this aircraft. It's just very, very well done. It flies very nicely. It looks great on the inside, and it's got a couple of little surprises. So, at any rate, so you got various cargo options you can turn on and off, which I think is a neat touch. And if we want to get rid of the handbook, we can click on the spiral, and that will place it over in the glove box over here on the door. All right, checklist. Let's just take a look at that real quick. I thought this was a neat touch. So built-in on-screen checklist that you can use to run through your startup procedures. And to close it, you just click on the heading, and it gets placed there. And then last but not least, let me cut the yoke back on. There's also a built-in map. So depending on where you are in the world, I'm going to use VFR map. And I can scroll over and zoom in. So you can see you have access to charts. I think this is very cool. It's a very, very interesting touch. And much appreciated. Here we go. We'll zoom in here. Coastal Carolina right here. Good information. I think this is this helps add a bit to the immersion here. Anyway, we'll cut that off, and we'll remove the yoke. And I am not going to run up through the start procedures. Starting a 172 is starting a 172 pretty much. Anyway, mixture set to full rich. Prop is 100%. We'll crack the throttle slightly. Fuel selector is on. Let's get some battery and alternator going here. And let's cut some lights on so that folks will know that we're in here messing around in the aircraft. Navigation lights can come on. We'll get that out of the way. And starting this is easy peasy. Okay, so here we go. Oh, I said starting this was easy peasy. You have to have the fuel valve turned on. Look at that. Magic happens. That's exactly why you follow the checklist, folks. Alright, we'll let the engine warm up here. Got our avionics on. Excuse me. And we can go for a quick fly here. No surprises. Thing flies really very, very nicely. I think I say this about every time. I'm really interested to see how this aircraft evolves over time. What happens to it with 2024. But it is very, very well done. And this is a higher performance 172. If you're interested in facts and figures around the aircraft, lots of places to do some discovery around that. And I believe there's some documentation included with the aircraft as well. At any rate, enough yakking. I'm going to take the parking brake off. I've got my feet on the brake pedals here. Let's just take another quick look here. What else do we need to turn on? Pitot heat needs to come on. Correct startup procedure for the aircraft is to cut the fuel switch pump on for a couple of seconds and then do the start. In addition to making sure that you have the fuel valve, shut-off valve in its correct position, and that you put fuel in the aircraft. All right, let's go ahead and do our taxi here. Here we go. And we're off. No surprises here with the ground handling. It's pretty straightforward. Could make sure I have my hardware controller configured. Seems to be one of the things that Doghouse doesn't get started before he starts recording. At any rate. Alright, we'll just assume we've gotten clearance. Go ahead and make our way on to the active. And we will get stopped here for just a second. Jump back in the aircraft. Get ourselves situated here for our takeoff. Alright, RPM and pressures and temperatures look good. Get ourselves a good eye angle here. Oh, built-in cameras. We can go ahead and do that sitting here on the runway, I guess. So these are the built-ins. No surprises with these. So control 1, control 2, control 3, control 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. And I did build a couple of customs. So there's my control 1 or alt 1, alt 2 on the wingtip, alt 3 underneath the aircraft, and alt 4 back in the cockpit with a wider view, alt 5 to the top. And then alt 6 is down to the circuit breakers. Zoom back out. There we go. Those are your built-in cameras. And we'll recenter. Set ourselves up just a little bit in the cockpit, and we will go ahead and start our takeoff roll. So this is general aviation, and there is commercial traffic in and out of Newbern. And we're up. And we'll continue our rough approximation of the runway heading here as we make our way out. Let's jump outside the plane. Or jump outside the plane. There we go. Come back a little bit on the throttle. Flaps can come up. There we go. Let's try below the plane for a minute. Take in some of this scenery here around Newbern. So in addition to being the birthplace of Pepsi, is also retirement community, and also quite a few folks from the United States Marine Corps live here in Newbern, stationed at Cherry Point. Beautiful old city. Sister city is Bern, Switzerland. And one of the interesting things about this area too is its black bear population. When you think of coastal North Carolina, you don't necessarily think about black bears, but there you have it. Alright, let's change some camera angles here. Just take a peek at the scenery. There we go. Up to the top of the airplane. This is the Neuse River. Quite a lot of boating and fishing, and this does lead out into the Albemarle Sound on your way to the Atlantic Ocean. And the other river that we will point ourselves toward here in a second is the Trent, which is just beyond the series of bridges that you see at the about mile 11 o'clock. So if you're looking for a nice quiet place on the near the ocean, you like boating, this just might be a great place for you. Cockpit here. There we go. This is centered up here. Come back on the airspeed here. And this airplane will move along. It does have some get up and go. And I sort of glossed over it, but in the pilot handbook in the pocket, you can change your configuration of your instruments. Another nice touch for freeware aircraft that I definitely appreciate. But this aircraft is a lot of fun. And it has some quirks and wrinkles in the flight model too to make it feel a little different than the stock 172. That's also appreciated. At any rate, this particular developer does great work for the community, so great shout out. Again, I will put links in the description below. Get ourselves slowed up here so that we can make ourselves a nice orderly approach here. Get ourselves slowed down here. We've got a good runway picture. Now we can drop some flap. And again, this aircraft is just, it's very nice. Very easy to get trimmed out. Situated here so I can see up over the nose. And we'll settle it down and then taxi back to the to some general aviation parking here. All right, on finals here for runway 22. Go. We're so slowed down here. And we can make our taxi over to parking. All right, we'll just assume we've gotten ground clearance here. There you go. Hopefully this video has been informative. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. I think we're all looking forward to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, but there still will be some fun things to use and explore in 2020 as we move forward. There we go. Get our parking brake on, get the engine shut off. Thanks for coming along on the flight today. Hope everyone's keeping well. Take care. Cheers, y'all.